Hey, what's up, guys? So in this video, I wanted to give you my thoughts on why the United States has the largest population of prisoners than that of any other nation in the world, by far. Okay, so it's not a very simple topic to discuss. It's complicated in the sense of so many factors that are involved in this, but I'm just going to try to give you the basic idea of why I think this is. So the first reason is because of money. Okay, so a lot of you may not have even thought of this when it comes to the issue at hand, but money controls almost everything in this country. And the industrial prison complex, okay, makes billions of dollars a year. So it's not just that the prisons themselves, provide work for mostly rural communities. The prisons I was in were in very remote parts of the state, and the majority of the people who lived in that area made their living from the prison in some way, either as corrections officers, maintenance people, or whatever capacity. They're living from that prison. So that's part of it, but another part of it with regard to money is the amount of free labor that they take from the prisoners. All right, so just think about this. There are nearly 2.5 million people incarcerated today. The majority of those people are forced to work. They work at least 5 days a week. So they're being paid cents, sometimes $1 a day, sometimes $2 a day. But just do the math and realize that there are billions of dollars of free labor being generated as a result of having all those people in jails and prisons. Okay, and we have so many of them. We have nearly 4,000 jails in this country. We have nearly 2,000 prisons in this country. Those numbers to me sound ridiculous, but they're true. Okay, so another part of the reason why I think this is the case for us in the United States is that we have what's called a war on drugs. Okay, it started in the early 1980s, where the government decided we're going to declare war on drugs and we're going to implement mandatory sentencing for drug crimes, and we are going to put people in prison basically for possession, for sale, for use, for whatever. We're going to start throwing the book at people, and we're going to start punishing them badly, and that created a huge spike in the prison population. In my opinion, to my understanding, it doesn't make sense to put someone in prison for possessing anything. Possess whatever the fuck you want. You want to use a drug? Use it. You put them in prison when they hurt someone else, when what they're doing stops someone else from living their life in a happy way and in a safe way, then you could put them in prison. But as far as, the way I think goes, who the fuck are you to put anyone in prison for that? But that's what happened. And that put, at least 1 million of those 2.5 that are there today, at least 1 million of them are there for drug offenses, non-violent drug offenses. All right? So another part of this answer that I'm going to give is that there still does exist in a lot of people in this country a deep-rooted hatred for black people. Now, a lot of you may not agree with this, but trust me, I live here. I've been here my whole life. I'm born here. I've been through the fucking prison system. I know what it is. They fucking hate black people. To a lot of people in America, they would never admit it because they're cowards, but if you gave them the actual choice, the real option of getting rid of all black people, even if it meant killing them, a lot of them would say, fuck it, yes, let's do it, thank you. And because of that hatred that they have inside of them, they want to control and they want to destroy black people. And there's no better way to do it than with the jail and prison system. And it's a lot more complicated than that, because a lot of you may just say that, no one's forcing anyone to commit crimes. And you're correct in that. So I'm not defending prisoners in any way here. However, they are the ones who constructed the entire system with regard to the tens of thousands of new laws that are added every single year, and the impoverished communities where mostly black and minority people are located. All right, so they could easily address this problem if they wanted to. They can fix it. They can help people. They can help those poor communities. But in their minds, it doesn't make sense to do so. Because why would we spend money helping these people when we'll get nothing back in return? Where for someone like myself to help the people, the reward is the kindness in itself. The fact that I see that I helped someone out and I did the right thing. I did a good thing. But to the people in power, they don't give a fuck about doing right or doing good. They're going to decide hey, let's just take that money and instead of helping these fucks, let's build another prison and get a wonderful return on our money. We'll fill it up with these black and minorities that we don't like anyway, and we'll take slave labor out of them, and we'll fucking make them work, and we'll win on both ends. We're helping ourselves because the prisons are located in very rural communities that are almost all the time white people around it. So we'll help the white people who are poor, and we'll we'll make a killing on this deal. It's a win-win for us. That's the reason why they don't help poor people. That's the reason why they continue to build more jails and prison. It's a money and power thing. All right? So, another thing that I think is a very huge part of this is that we have encouraged and promoted a terrible thing in this country, and that is the broken families. We have taken away shame where in the past shame was always there for certain situations and circumstances, such as women having children with multiple men, women having children out of wedlock. And by doing that, we destroyed a whole fucking generation or two or three already, because the people are just fucked up. The people are not good. They're not moral. They're not righteous people because they were never taught how to be that. Instead, they were just taught from their single mother, who can't teach them, who can't take the place of a man. All right? So that, in addition to the media brainwashing us into thinking that, you're nothing if you don't have money. You're nothing if you don't have material things. You need cars. You need jewelry. You need, status. So the people are brainwashed. So the poor people, a lot of them commit crimes. A lot of them say, you know what, I don't want to be fucking poor anymore. And they go and commit crimes. And so it's a never-ending cycle of recidivism where they're going to continue to build more prisons. They'll always have more people to put in those prisons. And, at the end, like I said earlier, if the people in power really wanted to help their own people, their own citizens, they could. But they don't give a fuck. It's the same concept as war. America has entered into wars before where they tell the people to gain support for the movement that it's a righteous effort. Yeah, we're going to go save this poor country. We're going to go save them. We're going to save Libya. We're going to save the people of Iraq and this and that. When the real truth of it is they don't give a fuck about those people. The same way they don't give a fuck about the black people. All they're doing is benefiting for themselves with more money, more power, and more control. And the same way they would easily murder millions of people, they don't give a fuck to murder those millions of people. They would do the same with putting them in cages. Okay? And when you really think about it, what it all boils down to is what kind of people would put someone in a cage and torture them in that way for something so stupid as having a bag of weed in their pocket? I've done a lot of bad things in my life, okay? I lived through very dark times. And in all those bad things that I've done, I've never, ever done anything like that. I've hurt people. I shed blood, but it was for a reason. The people were fucking bad people, or the people did something to deserve it. But I can't put nobody in a cage like that. I don't even put my dog in a cage like that. So who the fuck are these judges that are doing this? And this is getting to my last point. I hate to even say this, but I believe that America, more so than any other nation in the world, has a lot of fucking evil, hateful people in power. It's just the truth. It's the fucking reality that we have here. There are a lot of people who have hatred in their hearts and who are just evil. They're evil. So they have no problem continuing to destroy other people's lives to make their own lives better. So again, guys, I'm sure I left out some things here. There's a lot more to this conversation. I hope some of you can contribute some more points to it. But please leave your comments. And if you feel that I'm wrong, tell me how I'm wrong. Please. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.